Today I will be competing in an animation challenge of the highest level, and I will be competing against Jake Barlett. Jake is one of the best motion design educators in existence who has been absolutely dominating on Skillshare and on YouTube. Here's how it will work. We'll be given a brief neither of us has ever seen. We'll be given 10 minutes to plan out our animation, 30 minutes to animate it, 10 minutes to apply revisions, then we will be judged against the brief and one of us will walk away the victor. Jake, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I think I'm a little bit out of my league here with competing with Ben Marriott, but I'm excited. I'm really interested to see what we're going to be doing since I have no idea, but I'm ready to go.
Excellent. And to speak on behalf of the mysterious client, keep us playing fair and dish out the harsh judgment, I've enlisted the help of my good friend Andrew Marsden, who's a fantastic freelance motion designer and amazing motion design educator in his own right. How are you today, Andrew?
Hey, Ben. Great. Thanks for having me.
Excellent. Andrew, do you have the brief?
I do indeed. Let me share my screen with you. All right, so here's the logo that you'll be animating. Hang on just a second. We'll skip this. That was from something else. So, the project overview is that YouTube, a brand known well to all of us, has a new service that enables subscribers to watch videos in a revolutionary but familiar way. VHS tapes. So, what we need from you two is to animate the YouTube VHS logo to appeal to the target audience. What extensive focus groups have found is that we're trying to reach grandparents. So think like people who don't really know how to use the internet, but they do have a VHS player. And these focus groups have also yielded some valuable insight into two key words that grandparents tend to gravitate towards, and they are vintage and predictable. So gentlemen, you have 10 minutes to plan your animation. Three, two, one. Okay, hands off the keyboards.
10 minutes goes fast.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Ben?
Yes.
Since this is your channel, you have the honor of going first. Can you walk us through your concept?
What are the main fears of grandparents? And one of them, I thought, was their impending mortality. So I thought potentially the way that we could pitch YouTube VHS would be, in fact, we are not descending into the grave, but we're raising back out. We're coming out of the grave. VHS has been revived to its former glory. So I created some thumbnails here. So it could maybe start with a nice grey sort of tombstone graveyard setting, and then suddenly colour, blood would rush back into the cheeks. The youthful glow of times long past would come back into the gravestone, which would transform into the logo as the letters pop out of the grave, and we get this beautiful, beautiful resolution here. And at the same time, we're also really hard selling this new this innovation. So we're making them think, death? No. Life. Thank you.
It's beautiful. Wow.
Thank you very much.
This sounds magnificent. I can already tell you the client approves of your concept. Jake, would you like to share with the group?
Not really, but I will.
We can all see your screen now, so...
Okay, let me tell you my pitch. I know that YouTube is a forward-thinking company and that they want to progress. They always want to be at the forefront of technology and in front of people's phone screens and TV screens. So they wanted, I assume that YouTube wants to keep their modern edge while having this little bit of a throwback to a retro era. So when I thought about grandparents, the first, and TV specifically, the first thing I thought of was a TV remote with big buttons, because they make jumbo TV remotes with big buttons that are easier for people who are hard of sight. I happen to have a little red remote on my desk, and that made me think of that. And I think, well, what if there was just one giant button on a remote? That would be probably the easiest remote for an older person to use. And the play button of the YouTube logo, that's already a button. So it just made sense to me to make this into a remote. And that's about as far as I got, especially with this time limit. It is, a very quick turnaround. I didn't want to have to design many extra elements, so I'm just going to keep it simple.
Excellent. You now have 30 minutes to bring them to life. "20 minutes left. How are you feeling about the project?"
I think I'm feeling pretty good because honestly, I think I had the right strategy in keeping it as simple as humanly possible. I'm pretty sure he's gonna find himself spending way more time in design than he has time for.
This is sort of a loaded question because I know you work for Bartlett, but are there any tools that you're using to help you in this process?
Yes. Well, I've already used Overlord to bring my artwork over. Another tool from Battle Axe that I'm using is actually Transform Sandwich, but I actually set it up as a preset to do this faux extrusion. I can control the depth of this 3D very quickly and easily. It's not strictly a tool, but just having your own presets to where you can quickly apply something like that. K-bar as well, I added trim paths using that, so anything I can do to cut the corners on this challenge is going to be a big help.
Well, I will let you get to it. You only have 16 and a half minutes left, so it's looking good, though. How are you feeling, first of all?
I'm not great. I think I may have bitten off more than I can chew. What I thought would be very quick may not be.
Can you walk me through how you're planning to execute?
Well, I started off by just blocking the main animation, so I've got all the pieces here. Now my plan is to kind of sort of work backwards. So to start from like the letters, which I've already now animated coming out of the grave, so I've got those kind of taken care of. The animation isn't nice, but I'm just trying to get something, the minimal viable product that I can put in front of a client, and they'll understand what's going on. So I've animated the letters. Now I'm going to do the transition between the gravestone and the play button.
Last question is, have you ever had to animate something vintage or predictable before?
Yes, lots of vintage stuff. That was earlier in my career. That was just like, all right, if I just chuck on textures, chuck on all these effects, make it look vintage, like use this sort of haze of low quality that's meant to be. No, it's intentional that it looks bad, and that kind of covers up a lot of mistakes. So I've done a lot of that in the past.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see what you come up with, and I will let you get back to work.
Thank you very much.
Gentlemen, your time is half up. You have 15 minutes left.
Oh, no.
Okay, 15 minutes. I'm feeling pretty good.
We just got one more piece of client feedback that I think is important to share with you. So here's the message I just got. This is from the marketing director. They said, "My son, who's in junior high school, is really good at After Effects. He was watching a YouTube by Video Copilot and told me that the effect CC Light Sweep makes logos look really professional. So please be sure to use CC Light Sweep in your project. Thanks, heart emoji." Seem clear? Seem clear, gentlemen?
Totally clear.
It's very clear feedback, I'll give it that. I know what to do, how to do it. That's good. I question the validity of the source, but hey, I'm not in charge of that.
Very clear direction, and I happen to know how to use that effect, so I think we're okay.
If only somebody could make a video about all the effects of After Effects. That'd be great.
Just click the card above.
All right, I'm gonna let you guys get back to it.
Only 10 minutes left.
I'm definitely feeling the pressure now because I know that clock is ticking down, and just the nature of working this fast, things are messy, and so I'm already like, wait, which layer is the right layer? I just went for it, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna scale it down. I don't have much time to do anything fancy, so I'm gonna remove the remote frame just by adjusting the scale, and I think it's okay. I mean, it's as okay as it can be in 30 minutes.
It's turning out well. 30 minutes is not a lot of time.
No.
There's not much time left. But there's one thing I've been thinking about, and that's all the incredible student work coming from Master Motion Design, my animation course designed to boost your motion skills with practical assignments to fill your portfolio with unique projects. You'll learn how to add smooth and striking motion to any situation, and more techniques and strategies for transitions and morphs than is normally safe for human consumption. For those brave and curious souls, I've left a link down in the description. Alright, my head is clear, back to the challenge.
All right, time is up. Ben, you went first with your pitch. So Jake, are you ready to show us what you've got?
I'm ready.
Okay. This is beautiful. Very professional.
Yeah, so that's my animation. I went for simplicity. I wanted to keep that clean YouTube Google look and played off of that big button remote concept. Just kept it simple.
Excellent work, Jake. I'll send that to the client and let you know what he says. Ben,
All right.
would you like to show the class what you've done?
Here we are.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice
There we are.
morph.
CC Lightsweep makes an appearance. Oh no! Didn't trim my work area.
Well, I know what the client's going to say about that.
No!
Can you walk me through your thought process for choosing this concept and just briefly how you went about executing it?
Okay, well first, when you're selling a new product, you really want the client to need it, to think, hey, create a problem that your product solves. So the problem that our product is solving is death. Now, some might say that is an ambitious reach, but with YouTube VHS, we think we can tackle it. So first off, we're reminding the audience, you will die. Eventually, all things fade. And, certain people will react differently to that, but hopefully our target market will be reaching for their wallets, because that's what we want. So we're going to remind them of death, and then, VHS. I remember that. I remember when there was color in my life, when there was blood in my cheeks, when I was rosy, when I was happy, back in the days when, I had magnetic tape that displayed my media, and we just want to bring that back, to bring that, nostalgia back into their life, and make them happy and make us dollars. And that was my intention.
Well done, both of you. I will send these both to the client and let you know their feedback. I have good news and bad news. Jake, you are the guest. Would you like to hear the bad news or the good news first?
Definitely bad news first.
All right, I thought you'd say that because I prepared the deck in that order. Bad news. Both versions aren't really grabbing my attention. There's no time to start from scratch, so just make them more rural. And that's bolded and underlined, so I feel like that's what they're really going for. But the good news is I'm glad you're all available to keep working on this project. There was
That is great news.
Yeah, it's really good. There was one final note. The client said, not really sure what I'm looking for, but I'll know it when I see it. We are coming up close to the deadline here, so your time to make revisions starts now.
Rural. Ah! This is like writer's block, except for motion design. This is motion design block. I have no idea.
Can you talk me through your thought process here?
I don't know. I just went to Google Images to see what would come up. I'm honestly, I'm at a loss right now. So what that thing is that the client wants to see, that they'll know when they see, I don't know what that thing is yet.
You like focus. Do you want to focus?
No, I'm happy. I'm in a good place. Now this is gonna be easy. I know what rural is. Rural means wheat. So I've got some wheat. I got an image from Google, from vector stock. Sorry, vector stock. I image traced that in Illustrator, imported that in with Overlord. Shout out to the wonderful Battle Axe for their fantastic vector importing plugins. And now I'm just adding a bit of CC Bendit to it in After Effects, getting a nice little wave here. Because that'll remind them of the old times. Wheat. Everything was wheat back then. Cereals, meals, salads, all wheat.
I'm glad to see you're in a good space. I just talked to Jake. I'm not sure we could say as much for him.
Drake's struggle is not of my concern at this point.
That's right.
He's on his own.
All right, you have 5 minutes left, and we did just get one last client note to incorporate. I know it's last minute, but I told her we could do it. So, turquoise. The note is, turquoise is my favorite color, so please have at least one element that's turquoise somewhere in the final animation. Smiley face. And, I told you that was no problem. Jake and Ben, they can do it.
Easy. Too easy.
Wow, there's some confidence right there.
He has so much confidence. Turquoise.
There is 1 minute remaining. Time's up. Hands up. Nice. Wow.
Okay.
Did we get them rendered?
They're rendered.
Got him rendered.
All right, Jake, can you show us what you made?
Yeah, let me show you how I addressed these notes and made this animation a little more rural. There you have it.
Nice. Wagon wheel.
Wagon wheel. What's more rural than a wagon wheel?
Ben, could you show us what you made?
It's loading up. We are nice rural with a bit of wheat. And we've got a nice turquoise glow coming from within the gravestone. So within the grave.
It's beautiful.
Excellent.
And well implemented. All those notes are well implemented. Oh, I see that you also
No. No, you didn't see that.
at the very end. Hang on.
Oh.
But it's kind of nice. It leads out into the whatever's for a very slow match cut.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Let's hope the client sees it this way as well.
This is a 100% objective scoring based on a clearly defined rubric. We're going to start, Ben, with your animation. First of all, how turquoise is it? Out of 5, they gave you a 4. Not bad. How rural does it feel? 6 out of 10. They felt that although the wheat did add a touch of rural, it felt a little bit tacked on.
That is fair.
CC Light Sweep, 5 out of 5.
Yes.
Excellent. You used it.
Well done.
How predictable will it resonate with the target audience? Fairly predictable, 7 out of 10. How vintage is it? 7 out of 10 as well. The morph felt a little new agey, but the grain really helped, and there's nothing more vintage than death. So 7 out of 10. Well done. And last, most importantly, does it appeal to grandparents? You got another 7 out of 10. The consensus was that yes, this will overall resonate with grandparents. There was just a little bit of concern that some grandparents may not want to be reminded how close they are to the grave. So out of 50 points, you got 36 points, and that is the score to beat for Jake Bartlett. On the right, we have Ben's scores, just to remind us. How turquoise was it? They gave you a 4 out of 5.
There.
Rural, you got a whopping 7 out of 10.
Wow.
Because the wagon wheel was so prominent coming in, you couldn't help but reminisce days gone by. Well done. Light Sweep, you used it. You got 5 out of 5 points.
Right.
Is this predictable? Got a 6 out of 10 here. Vintage, 7 out of 10. And then lastly, does it appeal to grandparents? I should remind you that at this moment, I believe that you're tied. So Jake, you need an 8 or better to beat Ben. And your appeal to grandparents was an 8 out of 10.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are the victor. The reason was simply just the hard sell on that big old one-button TV remote. They think that grandparents are really going to want that, and they're going to launch a spin-off product where they actually sell that physical one-button remote.
I love it.
Jake, as the winner, is there anything you'd like to say?
Oh, I just I want to just thank Ben so much for having me on, for considering me a worthy opponent, for giving me the opportunity to test and flex my skills after, not a lot of freelancing in the past couple years. So thank you, Ben. Thank you, Andrew, for the harsh criticism and critique, the relaying of client notes, and for ultimately delivering these wonderful results to me.
Congratulations. Well done, Jake. Very well deserved. I think it's reminded us both why we love client work so much.
I have the unpleasant task, Ben, to inform you that you did not win. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Well, it's not a result you hope for when you go into a challenge like this, but I think it was a fair judgment, and I hope to play better again next time.
Well said. And with that, the project is complete. Thank you guys both so much for being available on such short notice.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jake and Andrew, tremendously for being a part of this video. You should go and follow them both. Jake is at Jake in Motion on YouTube and Instagram, and Andrew is at Andrew D. Marston on Instagram too. Now, this video was incredibly fun to make. I hope it is as much fun to watch, but I need your help. Please let me know down in the comments what other briefs you'd like us to tackle, and of course, what other opponents you think are worthy of this challenge. I'll see you in the next one.